The rain hammered against the warehouse windows as Chen limped through the loading dock, his cane clicking against the concrete with each laboured step. At 38, he'd built titanium logistics from a single delivery van into a regional powerhouse, but the car accident 2 years ago had left him dependent on mobility aids and the kindness of strangers. Today, kindness was in short supply. "We're closing in 5 minutes," the young woman at the repair shop counter said, without looking up from her phone. Marcus had driven 40 minutes to get here, the only place that could fix his wheelchair's broken motor before tomorrow's investor meeting. "Please," I called ahead. "I was told, not my problem. We close at 6. She gestured toward the door. Marcus felt the familiar burn of humiliation in his chest. "I'm the CEO of Titanium Logistics. I can pay whatever rush fee you require. I just need—" "Oh, you're important," she rolled her eyes. "Look, buddy, I don't care if you're the governor. Shop's closed. Come back Monday." "I can't walk without," Marcus started, but she'd already turned away. The workshop door swung open, and an older man emerged, wiping grease from his hands with a red rag. He was perhaps 60, with silver hair and calloused fingers that spoke of decades of manual labor. His name tag read, Ray. "Everything all right out here, Bethany?" "Just explaining our hours to this guy," Bethany said, returning to her phone. Ray studied Marcus for a moment, his eyes moving from the expensive suit to the cane, then to the wheelchair visible through the glass door of Marcus's accessible van outside. "What do you need fixed?" Ray asked quietly. Marcus explained the motor issue, trying to keep the desperation from his voice. Ray nodded slowly, then looked at the clock. His shift had ended 10 minutes ago. His daughter's birthday dinner started in 40 minutes across town. "Bring it in," Ray said simply. Bethany's head snapped up. "Ray, we're closed, then go home, Bethany. Clock out." Marcus felt something tight in his chest loosen slightly. "I can pay double your rate. Triple." Ray waved him off. "Let's just see what we're dealing with." For the next hour, Marcus watched Ray work with the focused intensity of a master craftsman. They talked little at first, but gradually conversation emerged, about Ray's 30 years as a mechanic, about Marcus's company, about the accident that had changed everything. "Lost my son to a drunk driver 8 years ago," Ray said quietly, not looking up from the motor housing. He was 23. Had his whole life ahead of him. He paused, tightening a bolt. "Made me think a lot about how we treat people when they need help. About whether we show up or walk away." Marcus felt his throat tighten. "I'm sorry." "Me too." Ray tested the motor. It hummed to life. "But I figured the best way to honor him was to be the kind of person who helps. Even when it's inconvenient." The wheelchair was fixed within 90 minutes. When Marcus asked for the bill, Ray quoted him the standard rate, no rush fee, no overtime charge. "I can't accept that," Marcus protested. "You stayed late, you missed, my daughter understands. She's a nurse. She gets it." Ray cleaned his tools methodically. "But there is something you could do, if you're serious about paying it forward." Marcus leaned forward. "Name it. Your company's big, right? You hire a lot of people." Ray closed his toolbox. "Maybe keep an eye out for folks who need a second chance. People coming back from hard times. Ex-convicts trying to rebuild. Disabled workers who just need someone to see past their limitations." He met Marcus's eyes. "The world's full of people deciding who's worth helping based on how convenient it is. Be different." 3 months later, Marcus stood in Titanium Logistics' new community outreach office, cutting the ribbon on a partnership with the city's rehabilitation services. The program would provide jobs, training, and equipment modifications for workers with disabilities and those re-entering society after incarceration. Ray stood in the back of the small crowd, having declined Marcus's invitation to speak at the podium. When their eyes met, Ray simply nodded and smiled. That evening, Marcus sent Ray a photo of the new program's first 5 hires, including a young veteran in a wheelchair who'd been turned away from 15 interviews before Titanium gave him a chance. Ray texted back, "Your son would be proud. Mine would be too." Marcus typed his response carefully. "The world changes one decision at a time. Thanks for showing me which decisions matter." He sat in his office afterward, looking out at the city lights, thinking about the moment when he'd stood helpless in that repair shop, about to be turned away. About how one man's choice to stay late, to see a person instead of an inconvenience, had rippled outward into dozens of changed lives. The rain started again, tapping against his window like a reminder. Marcus picked up his phone and called the city shelter, asking about their employment support needs. There was more work to do, more doors to open, more people who needed someone to simply see them and say, "I'll help." That was the legacy Ray had given him, not a fixed wheelchair, but a fixed perspective. And that made all the difference. Hello everyone. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, don't forget to support our channel. Please subscribe to our channel, press the like button, and share this video with your friends and family. Also, make sure to turn on the notification bell so you never miss our upcoming videos. We regularly upload amazing, informative, and entertaining content just for you. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to bring even better content in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and welcome to our growing community.